Welcome to Stay Hot, everybody. I'm Matthew Sponhour, as always, joined by Blaiden Kirk and Theo Ash. Blaiden Kirk and Theo Ash, how are you doing today?
Doing great, man. Glad you got your microphone working.
Yesterday, I got the second dose of the vaccine, and I didn't have a great night of sleep. I was very hot, and I'm working on not a lot. So you get a little bit of a sleepy Theo today, and tired. My arm hurts, Theo, but I'm going to tough it out.
Dude, yeah, when I got my second dose, it crushed me for like 12 hours and then I was fine. But
yeah, I feel a little bit better now than I was. But you get a sleepy Theo today. That's who you're going to get.
Reminder that we are on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, a 5-star. We always appreciate that stuff.
So we're going into a mailbag of, I would assume these are mostly NFL questions. I could be wrong on that. But
if someone asks me an NBA question, I'll do my best.
But yeah, we had the listener mailbag a couple episodes ago. So I think these are some of the leftovers from there. We got way more calls than we could answer in one episode.
And just a reminder, you can get your questions in by voicemail at 614-349-8050, or you can shoot us an email at stayhotpodcast@gmail.com, or you could just leave us a comment on the YouTube and we can find it that way as well. So let's get into the first voicemail.
Hi, big fan of the show. My name's Joe. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I just had a question for all three of you guys. And this is kind of a hypothetical, and I know we don't talk about baseball a lot, but which one do you think you guys could do first? Go into an MLB game and hit a ball and get on bat, or go into an NBA game, suit up, and get a bucket? Doesn't matter 2-3 layup, but just get a bucket.
Get a bucket.
Fan of the show. Let me know what you guys
think. Definitely get a bucket.
I really appreciate when people ask like fun questions like this. I hate making predictions. It always I'm always stressed out that I'm going to later realize that I was wrong or think of something else. But when it's something like this, it's no big deal. Easily the bucket. There's no way that I'm hitting a baseball
and getting on base. You said on bat, but I assume he means base. Like you would have to hit it with some power, and I'm not hitting it with any power.
First of all, I wouldn't be able to track the ball. It's like 90 plus miles an hour. Like, hell no.
I'd be scared. I would be like,
how many at-bats do you need to get on base?
1,000.
A billion, 1,000. I literally don't think I could do it. I literally don't think I could get on base.
Assuming you don't just get walked.
I don't think my body is built well enough to hit a ball. And I literally don't. I literally don't think that I have enough strength to get on base. I don't.
Can you pick up the bat?
I think I can
pick up the bat and swing it, but it's like against 100 miles an hour, the ball isn't going anywhere. Like I literally think I would need to have a pretty intense workout regimen, and I would have to like literally train for like a year to get my body to the point where I could actually hit a pitcher baseball any kind of distance. I really do. And with the bucket, I also am not getting a bucket is the other thing. You could put me in a full game season. I'm not getting, maybe if I could, because I could heave. People always say this. It's like, I'll just heave from half court which you're shooting 1%, but eventually I would.
Yeah, you'll make one.
But I'm not hitting a mid-range. I'm not driving. I'm not hitting a mid-ranger. I'm not hitting a 3 when they're playing any kind of defense.
That one's kind of a tougher one to analyze, I feel like, just because, are my teammates helping me? Are they trying to get me a bucket, or am I just like a regular NBA player and they'll let me shoot if I'm open? Or do they know that it's me and they won't let me touch the ball? Because if they know that it's me and then it's some like random guy, I'm never scoring because they won't. I'd have to get a rebound. That would be my only hope. But I think you could. Given enough time. Maybe not in one game, but if you got to play a full season, 20 minutes a game, you would score.
Yeah, you would score. Guaranteed. You would score. Ben Simmons hit a 3, so I can.
Hi, my name is Jack, and I was wondering, would you rather only be able to watch the rival sports team of any sport, or watch the sport you're least interested out of the 4 major ones, like hockey, basketball, football, and baseball?
That's a tough one.
The question is, would you rather only watch, like for me, I think it would be the Vikings. I try to stay as unbiased as possible, but as a Packer fan living in Minnesota, that would be my least favorite football team. I'd much rather watch the Vikings all the time than watch baseball. That's probably my least favorite. And no disrespect to baseball. I'm not a baseball hater.
Do you have to like go to Vikings games, like dress up as a Vikings fan? Like
I'd have no problem with it. I have freed myself as much as I think I can from the biasness. I have no problems with watching the Vikings. I think that would be a fun team to watch. They're pretty good. So I'd much rather do that.
I don't think I'd want to watch the Steelers right now. But at the same time, I think I'd like to watch football more so than baseball. So I think I'd still rather watch the Steelers.
When I think of rival team, I guess NFL would be the Saints. Yeah, I'd be willing to watch them over, I guess baseball would be the
Matt,
sport.
You were definitely thinking Michigan more so than...
I was for college football, I was thinking Clemson.
Oh yeah, because you're like South Carolina more so.
Oh, right.
Yeah. If it was Clemson, I probably would rather watch baseball, being completely honest.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't need to hate on baseball.
Dude just like hates Clemson so much.
No, it's because all of their games are just them playing like Boston College. I'm good.
Right. A bunch of 70-0
like, I don't
games against with a team you hate.
ACC.
That's tough. College football, the blowouts would make it tough to just watch a college. I don't really hate any college football team though. So I guess Arizona, but watching Arizona would be tough just because they suck so much. So I don't know, but I'd rather watch any NFL football team than, that's my favorite sport by far. So.
Yeah. Well, we have one more email question, then two more voicemails. So the email is from Nathan. He has a question that says, I have a scenario for you. Imagine the NFL restarts and a draft of all current non-quarterback players is held. Who do you draft number one overall? I like that he said non-quarterback. I think that makes it more interesting. I added the non-quarterback criteria because without it, the only logical answer is, of course, Mahomes. Would love to hear your thought on this. Again, I love that he said non-quarterback. I thought that was a really nice touch because we've talked about this, I feel like before. I don't know if we've talked about this, but I feel like as a football community gets brought up a lot. And it's like always just, you just take Mahomes first overall. But who would you guys take?
Donald. I'd take Aaron Donald.
Are we thinking longevity?
Even if we were thinking longevity, I think that guy's in such crazy shape that he's going to be good for the next 5-6 years.
Donald's a really good choice.
He's probably 29. I think he's 29.
Donald's young enough that I would consider taking him.
Yeah, and I think having a really good defensive tackle is one of the more important positions. I do like pressure up the middle is just so disruptive.
It's hard to deal with. It really is.
And in run fits, having a guy who can, just blow up A-gaps makes the life so much easier for the run, like everything. So Donald, I think, is the best football player in the league. I think he's a better defensive tackle even than Mahomes as a quarterback. I would say that. So I would take Donald. But that's kind of a boring answer, so maybe I can think of someone more interesting.
Well, I think the only position that is harder or as hard, if not harder than quarterback is cornerback. I'm going to take the best player at that. I'm going to take Jalen Ramsey.
So, yeah, I think that's also valid.
It's funny. The Rams have both those guys. But, is there really anyone that can play the cornerback position more consistently than Ramsey? I know there's players in spurts that have better seasons. Jair's really good. And there's obviously Gilmore, who had that Defensive Player of the Year season a couple of years ago. But Ramsey consistently has been one of, if not the best corners in football. Doing that is unbelievably difficult. So I'm going to take him. And he's young. He's not getting any worse.
Yeah, I'd go with Donald over Ramsey, personally.
I would too, just because I feel like defensive tackle is more impactful for a single position, and I think Donald is a better player than Ramsey is, and that's no disrespect to Ramsey. That's just Donald.
I just think finding obviously you're not going to be able to find another Aaron Donald, but finding another Jalen Ramsey, I feel like would be harder.
Yeah, I would consider AJ Brown. I would also consider AJ Brown strong. Yeah, I would. I think that AJ Brown is totally fantastic. And I think next year he's going to be all pro. And I think that he's young and you would be dealing with, although maybe I wouldn't because I would like to see him as this year
I'm
probably
all
stepping
receivers being super valuable, but first overall, I don't know.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't take him over Donald, but I think that I think that wide receiver is a very important position, especially a guy like AJ Brown, who's so good after the catch. It's easy to get him involved and have him break off big plays. I would consider him. He's super young.
I think with Ramsey, the problem I'd have with him is that you could take him, and then if the rest of the players on your secondary aren't also good, your secondary could overall not be that good. With Donald, I feel like it's a lot harder to not have a good pass rush if Aaron Donald's on your team than it is to not have a good secondary if Ramsey's on your team. And that's not Ramsey's fault or anything. I think that's just the way secondaries work.
It's just there's 4 other players. They're spread out across the field. It's hard to cover that kind of ground. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Hey guys, big fan of everyone. First followed a Sponhour, but then, got around to following you other guys.
Thanks.
Kind of rambling. I'm George from North Carolina, and I don't have a sports question, but I was scrolling through my following TikTok tab, and Sponhour video came up, then a Blaiden, then a Theo right after each other, and I realized all 3 of you guys have really nice skin. Not to be weird, but, skincare routine, question mark, if you can, that'd be something interesting. I don't know. Love the content, guys. Keep it up. Yeah.
Well, I don't have really good skin. I have kind of bad skin, actually, but my camera is kind of... I think TikTok adds a filter to you, even when you don't have any. That makes you look hotter than you are. I do. I think I look better in my TikTok videos than I do on here or in real life. So I think that's why. That's my skincare routine, is whatever hidden filter that TikTok puts on your skin and teeth.
First of all, I'm glad that he actually knew our names, Theo, because he just called us
I was a little bit concerned after that first
time. But I do actually have a skincare routine a little bit. I don't know the exact products by name right now, but I have
that's okay, awesome. Classic
I know,
guy skincare routine.
I
don't know what they are.
Get it, but why? I know the brand is Everyman Jack. That's what I use for my face most of the time. It's a face wash. I think it's a charcoal wash. I let that sit on my face for a couple minutes, then I rinse it off. And I make sure to rinse off with more pressured water, as opposed to what I wash my body with. And then after that, if I shave, I have another kind of exfoliating face wash that I put on, and then I put on shaving cream, and then I shave, and then after that I actually use Vaseline and cold water to kind of make, because prevent razor burn, stuff like that. And then I have a same Everyman Jack. I have a face lotion. And
but you don't know what these are called. They're just
I don't know the exact names, but I know that they're all by Everyman Jack. Every single one.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I use this acne scrub when my acne gets bad. Other than that, it's probably just the TikTok filter. I gotta agree with Theo.
Yeah, no, they definitely do something, and I think Snapchat does too. Because if you open TikTok and you film your face, and then you open up the actual camera app and film your face,
it looks different.
I guarantee you look better on TikTok. It's ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, if you open your camera app and look at your face, it's scary. It's
also, I think they flip your face on one of them and you don't on the other, because I have a very asymmetrical face.
App.
Me too.
And
the camera app flips your face.
Yes.
The TikTok does not.
Okay, that might be also what does it. But I'll open TikTok and be like, okay, I look pretty good. And then if you open the camera app, my face looks totally lopsided and my skin doesn't look as good, which, so it goes, but, it's just the way it is. So my care routine is just whatever TikTok does. But Blaiden, I guess that was a pretty good answer.
I tried my best, but my skin used to be really bad, but had to get better,
I might have to get on that. I might have to.
Well, I think that kind of wraps things up on our end. Little bit of a wacky ending, but thank you all so much for listening to this point. If you did make it this far, I hope you did. hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. If you haven't, please do subscribe to the YouTube, and whatever platform you're listening on, follow, subscribe, like, review, whatever. We're going to be putting out some really fun content going forward. And again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop.